Hi guys, it's Carrie with Divine Radiance. Today I wanted to talk about the dark night of the soul. So many people are experiencing this right now. People that have had dark nights of the soul before are finding them come up again. People who have never experienced it before, and probably a lot of people not really sure what they're feeling and what is going on. So I wanted to do this video just to give you some insight on what it is, why it's happening, what to do, what not to do, and of course the brilliant light that's at the end of the tunnel. But first of all, if you are experiencing a dark night of the soul or going through a very traumatic time, I am holding space for you, and so many of us are holding space for those who are experiencing the dark night right now. So just know that you're not alone. And it can be very hard. It's very difficult. I experienced it, so I'm going to explain it how it was explained to me or how I understand it. So we all have a soul wound. A soul wound is something we carry through all of our lifetimes. And yes, our lifetimes are happening simultaneously, but we do think of them as past lives. No matter how you think of them, we carry this wound with us, which contains all of our pain and suffering from every lifetime that we've experienced. So as you can imagine, it's pretty full of dark, unevolved, toxic energy that we're carrying around. And what it is, this energy that we're carrying has a frequency, and this frequency keeps us down. Okay? Even if we're happy and we're experiencing love, we still have this weight that is holding us down, and that is our soul wound. And it's keeping us in the 3D, right? The 3D dimension. And what suffering is, what suffering boils down to, is being disconnected from God, being disconnected from our source, feeling forsaken by God, being let down by God. And the dark night of the soul really is all of that pain and suffering erupting, basically. So exploding out. I described it in my journals as like a geyser of pain. Like it just comes out and you can't control it, and it's just a force, right? These emotions are energy in motion. They're very powerful and they need to be released. But it's good to release them. So if this is something that is resonating with you, that you're like, oh my God, this sounds familiar, this is a dark night. And what you are meant to do is to release them to the light. Right? We don't want to take it out on other people. We don't want to shove it on another. If you are going to work through this with someone, do it with a professional. Do it with a healer or a priest or a therapist that's spirituality based. Someone who won't take in the energy but actually will reflect it back to the light, because that's what we want to do, right? We're sending it back to the light. God will accept it back. There is no judgment in any of this pain, right? There is no judgment. I want to be clear. This is when we felt as a human disconnected, which isn't a truth, right? We're not disconnected, but we felt disconnected. We felt let down by God, and that is the basis of suffering. And Jesus actually showed us that during the crucifixion. So Jesus showed us that in the 9th hour, right, he's quoted as saying, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Right? He is letting us know that that is what suffering is, to feel let down by our Creator, which isn't a truth, right? And Jesus knew this. All right, Jesus knew this. He was showing us, he was demonstrating to us that it is okay to release it back to God and to let God know, and in your dark night to release that pain and beat a pillow and scream and yell and swear, whatever it is, to get it out. Just let it out. Get it out. Like I said, this is unevolved, polluted, untruth energy, right? This is energy based on an untruth, and that's what the dark night is releasing all of this negative energy back out to God, back out of your being, right? We're releasing it out of your being, and with that, your frequency soars. It doesn't just go up, it actually jumps octaves. It will go up. That is what the ascension process is about. That is what going from 3D to 5D is all about, into the fifth dimension, the fifth spiritual dimension. That is what we are ascending to. So if you are experiencing a dark night, know that it's because you're ready for this ascension, and that is a good thing. I'm not saying it's easy. It's really, really hard to get through. But please don't revert back to numbness or escapism or addictions or numbing, right? Don't go back, right? Go forward into the pain. It will not kill you. It may feel like it will, because it is very, very painful. I mean, it felt like my whole being was being ripped open. It's gut-wrenching pain. I thought during that time, wow, I wonder if this is how people commit suicide, because it's that painful, that if they didn't know it was a dark night, if they didn't know what was happening, they could feel that loss. You feel that disconnected. But so if you are to ever experience it, know that no, don't commit. It's going to stop. It doesn't feel like it, and you may feel like you need to go to an institution. It can be that bad, but just keep going. Release it. Let it out. That's all you need to do, is let it out in a safe space. Release it back to God and wait for the loving embrace, because that is what follows it. A loving embrace that can't even be described, of unconditional love, of grace, is what, once you release it, you will experience it. And that's the higher frequency and the higher dimension. You may have multiple dark nights, right? I had 3 in a year. And they may come back for deeper healing, right? Anyone who's experienced it before and then find yourself experiencing it again, it just means deeper healing for a higher ascension, because that's where we're going. And I believe that's what Jesus was showing us. Jesus in his lifetime showed us what it was like to love unconditionally, both our Father, our Creator, ourselves, and then seeing that same love in every other person. And that combined with faith, right? He says multiple times, a mustard seed size of faith, that's all you need to move mountains, or to perform miracles, or to walk on water, or to multiply resources, or to heal instantly, right? He showed us what is possible as a human if we fully embrace unconditional love and faith. But it was really hard in the 3D, right? So we're moving to this 5D, which is that, which I understand it as what they meant by the second coming of Christ. It's also called the Age of Miracles, the Golden Age, the Age of Aquarius, the 5D, New Earth, right? All of these are what we're moving towards. And so if you find yourself in a dark night, be happy, right? Because the 3D that we are in right now is all about feeling separate. It's all about competition between one another, being more fake. It's about suffering, limitations, lack, just suppressing your emotions. It's about addictions. It's about numbing, escaping, working really hard to succeed. All of this is the 5D. And the 3D. And what we're moving into the 5D, yes, there's 2 dimensions that are happening simultaneously, actually way more than that, but you can live on the same earth and experience a completely different reality. So you would much rather be in the 5D, which is about oneness. It's about community, not competition. It's about compassion, radical forgiveness, authenticity. It's about being real about who you are and how you feel, not trying to be anyone else, which is so freeing. It's about effortlessness and a lot faster manifestations for sure. It's about purpose. I said community. Yeah, so you definitely want to be in the 5D. So if you are going through a dark night, or if you are about to, know that as long as you go through it, right, and you don't suppress it and you don't avoid it, just have to go through it. And talk to a professional if you need to, because it is painful, it is hard, but you'll get through it. And there is a wonderful beautiful light at the end of the tunnel. So, like I said, I'm holding space for you. If this is what you're going through, let me know in the comments if this resonates at all, if this helps you. If you would like me to maybe do a video on 3D versus 5D, maybe go into a little more, or maybe about the transmutation, ascension, resurrection correlation that came to me, how Jesus was showing us exactly in the ascension, in his ascension, how we ascend in this life for this moment, so that we can all ascend to this 5D, because I believe that is where we're going. So blessings to you all. I am, like I said, holding space for all of you, and have a good one.